Alright, good evening everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Race. We're live here from Diehard Racing League, JMR Outdoors American Hero Cup Series. Tonight we will be taking on Martinsville Speedway, which, as you can see here, the track crews did an amazing job getting all the snow off of it, unlike the real counterpart. But we're going to take 200 laps tonight here with the Cup cars. We're in the final 2 minutes here of practice. We see a lot of the drivers, as I'm looking through the list here, that have put well over the race distance in. We've got 24-hour host weight tells 208 laps being the highest. Several drivers with 150 plus. Looking at the speed charts right now, sitting on the top is the 10 of Todd Cray. We saw this in the truck race earlier, which unfortunately he had a little bit of bad luck with the 68 of James Brown, but hopefully he'll be able to turn around here in tonight's main event. Second would be the 75 Robert Barris right now. He's showing with a 19.497. The 16 Elliott Butler, third with a 19.519. Fourth we have the 99 of Eric Mick with a 19.541. Fifth right now going to the 97 of Ryan Nolan with a 19.547. So as these guys are approaching the 1 minute mark here, they're going to get the last laps in before we head into 10 minutes of qualifying. And it's a little bit of a different thing going on tonight. That we will be live on the portal, albeit it'll be an hour late. There was a scheduling conflict that somehow managed to work its way through the cracks, but nonetheless we will be on the portal and you guys will be able to see this in its entirety after the broadcast is over. But we also have another rule change-up. Tonight, Mike Major, who normally is my second in command with commentary and everything, along with Cody Franklin, Mike is going to be working the cameras and doing all the important tech stuff, whereas me and Cody will be sitting here doing the free reign over the talking. So Cody, how you feeling tonight?
Well, I feel bad for Todd because I kind of caused that with him and James earlier in the Xfinity race, or in the truck race. I turned James, he couldn't get down, so he sat there and like Todd, and it ruined his night. But he is back out there. But I'm looking for a pretty good performance out of him. As we know, he loves short tracks, and these cars are very free, so they should put on a great show for us.
Well, if memory serves me right, the last time we were here at Martinsville, Todd dominated the show, albeit it was a different car. But looking at his times in practice, obviously setting fast time on the board there, that's going to say a lot right there as we're going to head into qualifying now. Once again, the drivers have 10 minutes and 3 laps. As we see right there, the 28 of Adam Lipsky making his way out on the track. The 76 of Josh Jones. Now he is running our primary series sponsor, the JMR Outdoors American Hero car. You see the 22 there of Joshua Stewart. Start waiting for times to come in right now to 6. But we do know that these numbers are going to change. So we see the 4 of Caleb Thompson there in that Ryzen AMD orange Ford Fusion.
Now Robert Barris is taking the pole for Tipper, the 19.418.
It's going to be curious to see what the 10 of Todd Cray does. If he waits to go out there and slow down the fast lap, or if he's going to change it. We see now the 97 Ryan Nolan taking the top spot away momentarily with a 19.416.
And that's just 2,000 separating those two.
We look at the 24 of Josue Tellis as he's making his way through 3 and 4 right now. Right now we're looking at, does not appear that the 10 has made its way out on track to qualify just yet, but they do have 10 minutes to do so, so we are going to see, up until the last minute, I'd probably say 5 or 2 minutes, we're going to see some of these names change up just a little bit.
Art, we do know that Todd likes to put his brake bias a lot, and I just wonder if he's not dialing in just a little more for qualifying, getting his car just where he wants it before he goes out and tries this hot lap or qualifying lap.
Well, Mike pointed out something really interesting here in the truck race. As he was entering the corner, he was doing a little bit of wheel work before entering, and he was just so smooth, so consistent, and I don't know if that was just a little insider technique, seeing how he does have real-world experience at this track with the, I believe it was the Busch Series cars at the time, but having that real-world time here, I think he might know something that the rest of these guys don't. As we see now, the 10 has taken the track, and right now he's occupying the 3rd position with a 19.430.
Ryan Nolan with that pole position right now, Art, with a 19.415. That is a smoking time for around here. The fastest we saw in practice was 4.72.
I think that's going to just chalk it up to a lot of we see the one of Kevin Burris out on track, as well as the 24 still running some laps out. I think these drivers use practice as a good indicator to see what the car is going to do on a long run, and after gaining maybe some valuable knowledge from the long runs, or maybe doing several mock qual runs during the practice, that they might have figured out the fast way to get around the track. Now, qualifying, as we all know, is not going to dictate how the race plays out, especially as you start getting more laps on the tires, and with this track being 100% flat and having to transition from pavement to concrete in the corners, we know that's especially abrasive on the tires, so that's going to be probably one of the key things to look out for, as well as it's really hard to pass here unless somebody lets you go by. There's a lot of key things that these drivers are going to have to do. They're really going to have to concentrate as they start burning the rubber off the tires. The car is going to get more on the free side. They start encountering lap traffic, and they're on old tires. That's going to make another issue even harder, but hopefully everybody's gotten the kinks out in practice and everything, and we can get some long green flag runs, as we do have 200 laps to run here.
All right, you touched on something that I was about to say. Track position. It's going to be key here. And, you know, it's going to be all about managing pit road speed. It's 35 miles an hour here. There's some turns in some of these pit boxes going to be key, getting in and out, because we know it's a tight pit window. Too far left, too far right being key. The track position is going to be key here. You don't want any mistakes on pit road. You want to stay out front and maintain that spot. As you said, it's going to be difficult to pass here.
That, and you hit another one on the point too, especially with the pit road being curved, and if you have the entire field coming down for tires and fuel, you have to really, really pay attention and know by memory where your pit box is, because if the car in front of you is pitting directly behind you, and you see him duck in, you have the extreme chance to overshoot your pit stall. And as you had said, with the new animated pit crews, we don't have just the too far forward or too far back anymore. We have too far right, too far left, too far forward, too far back. So you really, really, really have to focus on hitting your marks, getting into the box. And if you've got a lot of cars there doing it, then you really have to know where your stall is located.
Yeah, I know some of these guys are running Z1, and the one thing I love about Z1, one, you know, at plate tracks, you can see your water and temperature a little better if you have another monitor. But two, if you have the countdown on with the new animated pit crews, that flag drops. So if there's a lot of cars in front of you, or if there's a couple cars in front of you, you don't always see that flag drop. So you can get a countdown, and normally on the 2 or the 1, you can get over and get into that pit box.
And as we take a look at the 6 of Rodney Kramer, right now Rodney scored in the 20th position. He has not yet to take his lap, so we're going to take this opportunity right now. Before qualifying runs out, we're going to bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band for, as always, the National Anthem. So everybody please rise, remove your hats as we bring you tonight's National Anthem. Alright, amazing job as always by the U.S. Army Marching Band. As we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer take the line there. So right now, looking at the top times, nobody has been able to top the 97 of Ryan Nolan, so it looks like that will be tonight's pole sitter. As we wait for the session state to change, as soon as it is over, we will get into tonight's starting lineup. As we look here while qualifying is still going on, the air temperature, unlike its real world counterpart with the snow and everything, we've got a nice 65-degree air temp with a track temp of 76 degrees, and obviously the humidity is down low. And now that we see that the session has advanced, that will lead us into tonight's starting lineup. On pole will be the 97 of Ryan Nolan with a 19.416, starting to his outside, the 75 of Robert Barris. Todd Cray in the 10 will roll off from the 3rd position. Elliott Butler in the 16th will roll off 4th. The 1 of Kevin Burst will be starting from the 5th position. The 7 of Paul Williams will roll off 6th. Starting 7th tonight, also the series sponsor, the 76 of Josh Jones. Jason DeVries in the 21 will roll off from 8th position. 9th goes to the 28 of Adam Nowinski, and rounding up the top 10, we will have the 99 of Eric Mick. Starting from the 11th, in the 11 car will be Jeremy Evans. The 66 of Andrew Hill will roll off from P12. 13th goes to the 4 of Cliff Thompson. The 20 of Brian Den will start on his outside in the 14th spot. Starting 15th tonight will be the 22 of Joshua Stewart, with the 24 of Josue Tellez on his outside in 16th. The 96 of Josh Gallagher will roll off 17th, followed by the 95 of Philip Finn in 18th. The 6 of Rodney Kramer will start from the 19th position. Rusty Farrell in the 25 will round out the top 20. I believe that will actually round out the field. We see a few other drivers have not qualified, but as we see now, the iRacing pace car is down the way. We do actually have 22 drivers on. So this is going to be a green here, with it being a half-mile track. We see the lights out. That is not, that's a false stage for 1 degree as we normally see on the larger tracks. It will go out to the green here. So these guys will take 2 pace laps, and then we will get this race underway. Alright, so we should be seeing that Mustang pace car ducking down pit road as it does so right there. 97 of Ryan Nolan's going to lead us into the restart zone here, and we will get things underway. Cody, what do you think we're going to see in the short run?
Alright, I'm hoping we see a good green flag here, but it's going to take a minute for everybody to get settled into place, and hopefully we'll see that 97 and 75 on the 97.
As we see them all dogpiling down into turn 3 here, this is going to be, once they get settled out into a rhythm, we're going to see a constant, steady, just circular stream of cars as the field will spread out. As we see, we all know that going through these corners here with them being flat, very abrasive, a hard track to pass at, everybody's going to want that inside line. So these guys that are here on the outside are unfortunately going to get the same effect as what we would see at a plate track. They're going to get freight trained unless they can drop down into the bottom groove. So until they can do so, we're going to see some possible close quarters racing here. Maybe a little bit of contact, but with the amount of laps that these guys have put in practice, I think that's going to be minimalized. But the one thing that we do need to really look at on the longer runs is seeing if any of these cars start pushing up and maybe get a little bit of right front damage.
Oh, you mentioned some contact, and there has already been some contact out there on the track. A couple are beating and banging, running real close together. This is going to be something all night. These guys want to keep their tempers in check as it's a short track.
Well, the one thing that I know, without having real-world short track experience myself, is if you're running a short track, you're going to have some bent sheet metal. If you don't have bent sheet metal, you're not running the car hard enough, or sometimes in my cases, a few weeks I've had to do it. I rode home on the hook, so hopefully we see what we didn't see in practice. On the long run, the car's just getting really loose off the corners. But as we see there, the 60 Rodney Kramer having to step out there. Good job by him getting away from that. It looks like maybe one of the cars made a little bit of contact with the wall. We're looking right here at the 4 of Caleb Thompson right now. That is for 11th position as we got the 22 of Joshua Stewart behind him, trying to take that spot away here. So we see, it looks like the 95 of Caleb Finn on the backstretch there. He might have gone around as we see the 99 of Eric Mick up there against the wall. He made contact coming off the corner there, so he's going to be slow.
Oh, something to note, Eric Mick came in second in our US race on the truck. All that much here is we know that sheet metal is not going to be too straight on most of these cars by the end of it.
Now, sheet metal does not come into play here, seeing how this is not an aero-dependent track. I tell you what will be the downfall of it is if they keep making too much contact and start making some suspension or steering damage to their cars there. That will be the biggest determining factor there. But a few light grazes off the wall, the car is none worse for wear. Right now we're looking at the 66 of Andrew Hill right now being scored in 12th. He's still in part of that battle with the 22 and the 4 of Hill. as these drivers look like they've pretty much got it all single filed out now. We see a little bit of a bobble there off of the 66 off of the turn there, but he's able to keep it under control. But that is going to allow the 11 there of Jeremy Evans to try and make a little peek at a run. But nothing is going to come from that. We see the 20 of Brian Den, the 24 of Josue Tellis, and then the 99 of Eric Mick right now being scored all the way back in 16th.
Yeah, the 11 of Jeremy Evans, he got stuck there on the outside. I think he restarted on the outside. He got freight trained by a couple cars as he couldn't get down to the bottom, which is something that we're going to see in restarts. Hopefully we don't have too many restarts, but if you're on the outside, it's going to be tough to get there for a couple laps, maintain your own, but after a couple laps, you're just going to fall to the back if you can't get down.
Touching back the rubber into the 95 loose there off the corner. We're through race control and they have taken that 95 McDonald's Fusion behind the wall, loaded up on the hauler, and they're going to just go ahead and start their off week a little bit early, as he is going to be the first retiree from the race. So we will have 21 cars remaining in the field here, as we are going to stay green flag here. Still monitoring the battle for 10th, 11th, 12th, and now 13th.
Right now we've got Robert Barris. He's kind of checking out from the rest of the field out there in the P1 spot, leading Ryan Nolan in the second place. He's probably got at least nearly over half of the share on.
Oh, look at the board right now. He's got a 1.3 second lead over our pole sitter, the 97. As we're going to go on board with the 22 of Joshua Stewart here for a lap or two. You can see the one thing that I absolutely love, and I love showing this off now that iRacing has finally given us the tool to do it. Now, they had it years ago, but for the longest time it was gone. You can actually now see the RPM gauge working. You can see that rev bar moving up and down. That is probably one of the most important tools that we can have there. It's just an amazing thing to see, because especially when they're clutching it for fuel saving mode and all that. But it's great to see iRacing finally put that back into play.
Alright, look at how much wheel input has been here. This is a flat track. It's tight turns. Look at his right hand. It's going almost past. But it is going past halfway, almost all the way over to the row bar.
Well, Martinsville, we all know, especially as the tires, and as we're starting to see already, through practice, the corners started to rubber in, but now, as we're 21 laps into the race here, we're going to see, with 21 cars out on the track, you got to figure that's, with all the combined laps so far, we've got over 1,000 laps worth of rubber worn into these concrete corners. You can see they're starting to get darker and darker and darker, which just means that there's going to be more grip there. And the more grip you've got, the more you have to turn the wheel, and it also, it depends on how fast you're getting into the corner. If you've got to get on the brakes, then you're going to obviously have to put a lot more steering input into the car. And as you noted there, his hand was right over, probably sitting at about 90 degrees, which is a lot of steering, but then again, with it being a short track. So we're still watching the battle here with the 66, the 22, and the 4. We ride on board the left front suspension cams of these cars. This is definitely an interesting experience for me here. Normally being the one running the cameras, it's awesome to see Mike just going ham on it and having a blast with it. It's a good change up from what I normally see and I'm used to doing, which allows me to look at so many other things. And as we ride now on the nose, you can see the run, and you can see the googly eyes there on the back of Caleb's car. It's just good to see all these different camera angles, and I don't know about you, Cody, but I absolutely love short track racing. As we are now 26 laps in, we see the 22 is still trying to work over the 4 as he gets a little bit of a bubble off of the corner. you see it's got a lot tighter here now between the 66, the 22, and the 4. They are really starting to get up there as we see the 66 checking up just a little bit as the 22 has had to do so as well. Now if you're just tuning in from the iRacing Live portal, welcome to the Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series. You can see we are at wonderful Martinsville Speedway here. 200 laps to go tonight. We've got 29 in the books. Our current race leader, the 75 of Robert Barris, with a 1.9 second lead over our pole sitter, the 97 of Ryan Nolan. As now we see Stewart able to make the move of contact between the 66 and the 4. They're able to keep it together. No caution will fly, but that's going to be very costly for the 4. But I have to say that was a very impressive piece of driving there by the 66 backing off there and letting Caleb gather that car up. Otherwise, he would have gone around. We would have seen the first caution of the night. But luckily, the drivers here do have a pretty good instinct, and he was able to back off, let the 4 save his car, and we were able to continue under green.
Also good work by Jeremy Evans in that Valvoline number 11 for not getting into both of them as he came up quickly on.
I think these guys have spent a lot of time in practice. I think they've figured out pretty much everything except for what we just saw there, the things that you can't plan on happening. But great job by all the drivers involved there. Nobody making contact any further than the little bit that was made there. And you can see there's just a tiny amount of left rear damage just behind the left rear tire on the 4 car. But as we said, aero is not going to play a factor in this race whatsoever. As we look back there at the 24 of Josue Tellez in that Exalta, formerly the old DuPont Chevrolet. So 35 laps now in the books. These laps are going to go by very fast with this being a half-mile track. And the longer these guys keep it clean and green, the better. We know these guys are capable of doing it. We've seen time and time again races that normally you can't get 20, 30 laps clean. They will run 50, 60, 70 laps, and then usually it's the one caution that'll come out that'll either be the difference of whether we're going to see multiple cautions or it's just an isolated incident. As meanwhile, we're now looking at the battle between the 76 and the 1. That will be Josh Jones and Kevin Burris. That's 5th and 6th position.
Just behind them, Art, we have the 21 of Jason DeVries trying to hold off Paul Williams in the 7.
We got to give Paul a shout out because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you look at the ticker tonight, Paul is a fellow broadcaster and racer here with our. And there we have our first caution on the track. I'm going to take a look and see what happened so we can give you guys the replay. And it looks like it's going to be on the 44. So here we see him coming into the corner here. Keep your eyes on that 44 Canadian Tire machine. Makes it off the corner. Everything's good. He gets a little contact with the outside wall there. As he comes down into the corner, I think what we might see is him get in the throttle a little bit too soon, and which it does, the car steps out, locks it down, but he still clips the inside wall. As you can see right there with the traffic coming there. That's going to bring out the caution flag, but we're also going to go on board with him as well and get his point of view of it. We see right there the counter steer in there. It locks it down, but it coming back up on the racing surface, that will trigger the caution. Alright, and as we are looking at things here, we've got to let the sorting order here filter out, and we can give you guys the top 10 off of pit road here.
Well, Art, one thing to note is the 21 of Jason DeVries is up high. I believe he has got a speeding penalty, and he is falling to the rear.
Well, if there's anybody that I know of that can overcome something like an EOL penalty for speeding on pit road, it would definitely be the 21 team. But giving a quick run through here of the top 10, on the restart we will have the 75 of Robert Barris as our continuing race leader, the 97 of Ryan Nolan second, the 76 of Joshua Jones third, the 1 of Kevin Burris fourth, the 99 of Eric Mick fifth, the 20 of Brian Den 6th, the 16 of Elliot Butler 7th, the 28 of Adam Nowinski 8th, the 96 of Josh Gallagher 9th, and Joshua Stewart the 22 is going to round out the top 10 as they're going to double file up here as we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer getting the free pass here. Now,
Art, I think that burned a couple people. We got Todd Cray and the 66 of Andrew Hill. They both, I believe, got speeding penalties as they've fallen back to the back.
Now the iRacing pace car has made its way off of pit road. The 75 Robert Bear is going to lead us in the restart zone. Green flag is back out. We're back underway at lap 44. And we are going to go right back under that caution state. We see the iRacing pace car there. The field will have to catch up a bit. We're going to look and see what happened there on that restart. Do you believe that one is going to be the 44 car again? Yeah, I believe it was the 44. So we see a little bit of damage there on the nose of the 66. But we were just talking about it with the tough break there for the 21. This is exactly what Jason needs. Is now he can attempt another restart here and see if he can start marching his way back up through the field, as it appears there might have been just a slight checkup there. See the heavily damaged nose there on the 44 machine. That was the 44 of Aaron Corey going around a second time. So we see some drivers making their way down pit road, some are not. Nothing has really changed up front as we see Robert Barris in the 75 still leading it over our pole sitter of the 97 of Ryan Nolan. And while we're under caution here, we are going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial sponsor break and be back with the action here at Martinsville Speedway. And we're back just in time for the restart here as the 75 of Robert Barris is going to lead us in. Green flag is back out. Great jump there by the 75 machine as he's going to have no competition getting into turn 1 here as we see the rest of the field barrel down into 1 and 2 here. As we see now, we have a second retiree of the race, the 44 of Aaron Corey. They have taken that machine behind the wall, loaded on the hauler, and they are done for the night here. As we are now just over a quarter of the way to the race here, working lap 52.
That's the 28 of Adam Nowinski on the outside of the 11 and 22. He's trying to make his way down into a gap. The 22 is going to shut that door and not allow him down.
I've said it before, Martinsville is just like a plate track. If you get stuck on the outside, it is really, really hard to get back down there or to make a pass on the outside groove here.
Right now, Adam's holding his own against all as they make a little contact there, and Adam's going to basically make his hole to get down in there. I'm sure that was not intentional. And now Jason DeVries going around Paul.
I don't expect that 21 to stay towards the back of the field for too long. As we see there, the Ford Caleb Thompson get a little bit loose into the corner. He's going to have to slide up the track. That's not going to really sacrifice too much track position, but it is going to upset those right side tires, which we all know is a killer on these cars.
I think pretty much everyone has made their way down to that bottom groove, and oh, it's as Jason DeVries dives it hard under Adam. That was a power move. He's going to take that spot away from him, moving him up to 12th.
We still see the 28 not able to get down yet. Now he's going to come under fire by the 10 of Todd Cray as they come down here in the turn 1.
All right, something to note, these are all those guys that are flying around the 5th, the 6th mark. And I believe they were busted or just something going wrong on pit road, and they all had to drop to the back. We know these cars are fast, but it is so hard to pass them.
As we see there, the 21 of Jason DeVries dropping to the inside of the 96 of Josh Gallagher as they come out of the corner there. He's going to be up another spot there.
Oh, the Jackson around.
Got it on the track again. Here comes the instant replay of what we just saw live. All right, keep your eyes on the 21 and the 7 as they come down in the corner here. Watch the 7. He's going to come in and get a piece of the grass, and then he collects the 21 and the 96. All of them able to get back under their own power, but that is going to bring the caution out here. So once again, all of these guys are coming down for undoubtedly a set of 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods and topping off a Sunoco race fuel. We're going to cut to our sponsor commercial break here again and return with hopefully the restart orders. The lights in the pace car will be going out. Alright, we are back. The lights on the pace car have not gone out yet, so hopefully next time by we'll see them go out. We'll get the field doubled back up for the restart here. As the pace car crosses the line, will we see the lights go out? Hopefully we will, and we'll get this field sorted back up. Lights are out on the pace car, so Robert electing to take the outside line. He will be restarting with the race lead. The 76 is Josh Jones in the JMR Outdoors car will be restarting in second position. The 99 of Eric Mick third, the 1 of Kevin Burris fourth, the 97 of Ryan Nolan fifth, the 24 of Josue Tellez sixth, the 22 of Joshua Stewart 7th, the 16 of Elliot Butler 8th, the 11 of Jeremy Evans 9th, and Todd Craig's going to round the top 10 as we have taken the green flag once again with a good jump out of 75.
The 24 spun his tires bad, almost clicked in the inside wall there. Going to lose a lot of spots.
Would you liken that to an actual Jeff Gordon restart at Martinsville?
I believe he most definitely pulled a Gordon restart. He almost tagged the wall. He fell all the way back to 15th, 16th from that.
And we also had some contact there between the 16 and the 10. That's Elliot Butler and Todd Gray. And Jason DeVries in the 21. He is marching around right now. Right now, Jason being scored in the 10th position as he's able to get around the 4 Caleb Thompson.
Jason is
and
not
as we see
messing
the
around.
97 loose in the corner there. Looks like he had a little bit of assistance there with another car, but able to straighten out. I do believe that's the 1 of Kevin Burris. So the 97 and the 1 racing extra hard there. I think that was a carbon copy repeat of what we saw with the 66 and the 4. Once again, both drivers were able to back off and let the car that was about to lose it get back under control. So we'll see once again, they're definitely doing some close quarters racing. You see a very, very violent bobble there out of the 97 that time off of the corner, which is going to open it up. And now we see a little bit of contact between the 11 and the 97.
Yeah, the 97 there, he's trying to pinch those guys off the bottom to keep them from getting the momentum off and hopefully get down there to the bottom himself. As 11 actually tags him and tags him again, he's going to go around. This is going to cause another caution here.
No caution yet, as we see the 24 of Josue Tellez. The 97 is going to back up the track. Not quite sure that was the best one to do, but we're going to get a replay here for this one. Cody, I think you definitely got it right on the head. We're going to see some short track tempos coming out right now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to hold them down. It's, we still have over 120 laps left, and these guys are putting on a show with some aggressive driving.
And you can see right there from that replay angle there, all the 11 had to do when he made the first contact with the 97 was just back off the throttle a little bit, and the 97 could have gathered it back up, but he made contact with him again, which is what sent him around, and we saw it also stop the 24 Postway Telus deadness tracks, and I do believe it was the 99 of Eric Mick that had to go up and around as the 97 was starting to reverse up the track. So things that we could have seen work a little bit better there. There could have been a little bit more patience out of the 11 camp there, especially after the first contact with the 97, as we could see the damage there to that 97 machine. Undoubtedly, I don't think Ryan's going to forget that one, but hopefully, and these drivers know better, that they are not to retaliate whatsoever during the race, or you are going to be instantly parked. But definitely, I think a couple of the drivers might need to dial it down a couple notches here, and there's a lot of, we're not even halfway through the race, and I think some of these guys just need to be a little bit more patient.
Along with some tempers dropping, a message from our sponsor, JMR Outdoor. They are putting on a free a chance to enter for a free hunt, either whitetail or waterfowl for 2018 if you're an active duty veteran or reserve or retired. If you go to their website, just check them out there.
Yep, all you have to do is go to their American Hero Hunt Facebook page, click on the tab to the left that says 2018 Hero Hunt, and you can get yourself entered. As we look up towards the front, we see the 99 of Eric Mick with the lead, the 76 of Josh Jones still holding down the second spot as we look to see the lights on the pace car go out and get the field doubled back up. As they will do so. So restarting with the lead will be the 99 of Eric Mick, Josh Jones, and the 76 on the outside, the 11 of Jeremy Evans, despite being involved. As we got delayed green here, so lights on the pace car will come back out. Restarting in third will be the 11 of Jeremy Evans, Brian Denon, the 24th, the 7 of Paul Williams, 5th.
I believe the delay is for the 97 of Ryan Nolan, one that was involved in that accident. He pulled off right in front of the pace car as it was about to go green.
Well, one thing I'm seeing here is we did see the 96. It appears they did throughput, so I don't know if that might contribute to it as well, but if you did see the 97 do that, then that will definitely delay the green. As we roll from 5th back, the 1 of Kevin Burson, 6th, the 16 of Elliott Butler, 7th, Robert Barrison, 75, 8th, Adam Nowinski, 9th, and Caleb Thompson running at the top 10. As we are working now our delayed green here. Green flag is back out. Great jump there by the 99 of Eric Mick as he's going to sail off into turn 1. The 76 of Josh Jones clear on the bottom side, so he will maintain P2 right now.
The 75 kind of laid back on a high side and got to jump to the bottom underneath the 1 of Kevin Burris.
Meanwhile, we're looking back here around the 28 of Adam Nowinski and the 75 of Robert Barris here, as we see he has made his way around the 1 of Ben Burris. Now that's a good combo to say there, Barris and Burris.
Yeah, that just rolls off the tongue well, nothing in art.
Now, another interesting thing to note is that after tonight, we have a drop week, which is going to shake the points up quite a bit, as we also have Diehard's league owner, Seth, over in live chat. He's supposed to be on vacation, but instead he's choosing his vacation to watch the race here at Martinsville, which I don't blame you, seeing how the real one got snowed in. This one's a lot more fun. Out front right now, the 99 of Eric Mick is checked out with a 1.4 second lead over Josh Jones in second right there, as we are looking at the most exciting, and it's hanging still right around the 20 of Brian Denton, the 1 of Kevin Burris, and the 75 of Robert Ferris. We see Robert, he's going to look at the inside of the 16 of Elliott Butler there. Robert is definitely wanting to get back up towards the front right now. We're going to go on board with the 75 of Robert Barris.
Something to note, Art, watch how smooth he is.
Well, I can tell you exactly what that is. That's the AccuForce right there.
AccuForce and thousands, and I mean thousands of laps turned behind that AccuForce.
I still am mesmerized to this day at being able to actually see the red bar in the tag, because we see a little bit of avoidance there by the 75.
The 16 of Elliott Butler nearly got into the back of the 7 and Paul hits a big check up, causing a podium effect to the 75 of Robert Barris.
Now that right there, you just said the key here. It's almost like a butterfly effect. For every small action that happens, there is a chain reaction of events that could happen. So somebody gets in the corner too hot and they stab the brakes. That's going to set up a chain of events for everybody behind that car. It's going to accordion the field behind it, and that a lot of times we see leads to something happening.
And there again, you see the same thing. The 7 actually collected the wall. The 16 went high. You know, just to be safe, and that allowed the door to come open for the 75 of Robert Barris to get around the 16 of Elliott.
This is out front, the 99 of Eric Mick continuing to add to his lead. It's now up to a 2.5 second over the second place and 76 of Josh Jones. So we see now 21 of Jason DeVries is still trying to make his way up there.
Look at the snake we're looking at, Art. They are nose to tail. It's almost like one person is driving this entire snake around this place.
That's a big snake, seeing how it'd be a half mile long. It almost reminds me of a Doors song.
21 going to get around the 6 of Rodney Kramer there.
So we see the 97 of Ryan Nolan's going to do the same thing as well. And Rodney's going to go high and let the 66 of Andrew Hill around as well.
And this is a classic Rodney move. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, kind of get out of the way. Oh, and we got a wreck. 22 and 24 down off the track.
No caution yet, as the field has the 24 backing up. We should see the caution come out, though, with the 22 having a reverse on track. But as of right now, we are going to stay green flag as we are approaching halfway here at Martinsville Speedway. We're going to take a look here at the 24 of Josue Tells and see just how bad the damage is there. Oh, he is missing that TV panel. That is, we said aerodynamics isn't going to hurt, and that's definitely not going to hurt the car, but that's twice we've seen Josue involved in somebody else's incident. As we continue to monitor the 21 here, he is still making his way up. He is now being scored in the 10th position. So we see the 1 of Kevin Burris making his way down on the pit road.
that would be an unscheduled stop.
Well, it's good to see also the 96 of Josh Gallagher. He throughput, which is probably one of the worst things that can happen during a race. Good to see that he has made it back out on track. A lot of drivers just hang it up right there, and it's good to see that he did reconnect to the sim and continue to race here. It doesn't matter if you're running in last place. Points is points, as right now the gap from first to second is still continuing to expand. It's now at a 4.3 second lead and continuing to grow.
Yeah, Eric Mick had a heck of a truck earlier race. In the earlier race, he come in P2. He knows this track and he seems to like it a lot.
Now let's go on board with the 76 of Josh Jones and see how he's faring. There we are. We see that I noticed that orange roll bar anywhere. I've painted that machine up. Right now we can see he started 7th, currently sitting in 3rd position as the 75 Robert Barris has gotten by him.
Yeah, the 75 is actually trying to make the pass on the 76 as he's on the inside, and the 16 of Elliott Butler with a big slide behind him.
So we will be under caution again here at Martinsville. That one's going to come out by the 16 of Elliott. We also see the 10 of Todd Cray involved. Oh, it's 10 of Todd Cray right there. That's going to be between the 6 of Rodney Kramer and the 10 of Todd Cray. So as we see the replay here, we see Rodney there on the outside groove, the 10 of Todd Cray. We see the 96 of Josh Gallagher. A little contact there by the 6 of Rodney Kramer right into the right rear quarter of the 10 machine, and Todd unable to get that thing turned around. He smacks the inside wall and he's got to wait for the field to go by, and he just resets it. We're going to go on board with the 6 of Rodney Kramer here and watch from his point of view to see how the event unfolds. I don't know if Rodney just thought that Todd was clear already, but we're going to see right here. So here we go. It's going to lead up into it around here. Rodney's going to be here on the outside line. Watch for the 10 of Todd Cray to the inside. See Rodney still turning. There is the contact, and you see the end result, the 10 of Todd Cray going around. And Rodney instantly taking his car down road there. So the one thing that's going to be a lucky break for, though, is going to be the 75 of Robert Barris and the 76 of Josh Jones. Before that caution came out, the 99 of Eric Mick was absolutely driving away with this race. So this will be a good chance to stack the field up, as we see the 10 of Todd Cray has taken that machine behind the wall. He is done for the night. So this is going to be a battle of attrition here, as we see I believe the 1 of Kevin Burris has also taken his car down. So that's going to be 4 drivers now retired out of the race. 18 remaining.
Yeah, Todd just could not catch a break tonight. He was caught up in something earlier tonight and then caught up here. It just was not his night. He got caught up with James Brown in my incident in the first race, and then looked like Rodney. It was almost as if he was loose there. I don't think he intentionally just turned down into him.
Now Rodney's not that type of driver, but at a track like Martinsville, unlike Bristol, where Bristol is pretty much self-cleaning because of how steep the banking is there. I know we've seen Kevin Rutledge play bowling from the outer wall down up against the inside wall. Very, very steep banking in the concrete jungle. But here, we don't have the banking to where things can clear out like that. And when something usually happens here, it's really, really hard to avoid it. And as we see, the lights are out on the pace car, so it's getting ready to duck down pit road. The 99 of Eric Mick is going to lead us into the restart zone. He's got the 75 of Robert Barris to his outside, 76 of Josh Jones, and the 16 of Elliott Butler for the second row. So we can see the good jump there by the 99. We're back underway here, lap 107. 108 now out of 200 here, so we're under 100 laps to go. We've just reached past the halfway point.
The 75 of Robert Barris with a little bit of a wheel spin there, trying to get on that loud pedal and a little bobble. Eric Nick out with a great jump.
And a little bit of contact there between the 76 and the 16 there as they went through turns 1 and 2. You see now that's going to give it a little bit of an edge for the 11 to try and get up. But right now we're seeing the 75 of Robert Barris as he's trying to reel in the 99 of Eric Mick.
And coming in frame there, you see that 21 machine. He has made his way up to 6th place. He should clear Brian Den in the 20 machine right here. Jason making a march back. He restarted P20 earlier in the race, and he has marched his way back up to 6th place. It is hard to pass here, and that is awesome.
I know I've said it before, but I feel the overwhelming urge to say it again. I absolutely love short track racing. This is when you get to see what driver really knows his stuff and can maintain car control, can keep the tires under the car the longest, and basically the biggest and the key thing in short track racing is who can keep their nose clean and stay out of other people's messes. So we've seen for the past couple laps there, it seems that the 76 a little bit out of shape off the corners. I don't know if he's fighting a little bit of a loose off. As we see Jason DeVries still trying to march his way up right now, being scored in the 6th position. Now, we got to remember that he did have to serve an EOL penalty for speeding on pit road. So he's already marched his way back up to 6th. Now he's right on the back door of the 11 of Jeremy Evans, trying to take away 5th position from him, as we see the 76 of Josh Jones just in front of him in 4th spot, as the 16 of Elliott Butler has gotten around him.
All right, someone else that had a little bit of bad luck there on the restart. Caleb got caught speeding, and that cycle of pit stops was having to allow everybody to go by, and I believe Josue about lost it under pacing, and he didn't get around the 4, so he ended up having to serve a 2-lap penalty. That's going to put him 2 laps down.
That is just another nature of the beast here. I know we say that a lot when we're broadcasting Cyber's Super Speedway series, because that is its own nature of the beast. But here at short track racing, if you can't get down in time to serve your penalty, unfortunately, as we see there, you do have to come down under green to serve a 2-lap hold, which at a short track, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. You can't just step on the brakes and ask people to go around. You've got to find a hole, and you've got to get down there when you can. And if you can't do it, sometimes you're unfortunately stuck with having to serve a penalty, like we saw there. So we see the 21 sliding it down into the corner there. Great catch, as he's still able to stay right there to the inside of the 11. He's going to back off a little bit, but I think that's going to make the tires on that 21 Havoline Fusion. As we see contact between the 97 and the 66, Andrew Hill able to keep that car under control. We're going to stay green, but that's going to slow those guys down as the 97 is able to get around. As we continue to see that 97 just get more and more sheet metal damage. I know we've been preaching on it, saying that aero doesn't really play a big factor here, but there's got to be a certain point when parts start falling off of your car that you become a little bit slower. As we see, Jason is still trying to gather it back up after that incredible catch in 1 and 2, driving that car in pretty much like he drives the Dirt Legends car in turn 1 or 2 at USA, like we've been doing all week in the official series. But we want to welcome everybody just tuning in now live from the iRacing portal. Welcome to the Diehard Racing League JMR American Hero Hunt Cup Series. We're working lap 123 here of 200. There was a minor scheduling conflict with iRacing, so you guys did not get the alert as soon as the race went live. There was a 1-hour delay to it, but we're glad that you guys are tuning in. Once the race is over, you will be able to go back and catch it from flag to flag coverage. We see several battles going on right now. We're seeing Roberts catching up to the 99. We see the 21 of Jason DeVries looking to the inside of the 11. 11's going to go way high in the corner, which is going to allow the 21 and also the 20 of Brian Dent. He's going to stick his nose in there, and right now he does have the position going into turn 3. So the 21 and the 20 both able to get the drive by the 11. This is now going to move the 21 up to 5th spot and the 20 up to 6th. So a loss of 2 there for the 11 in just 2 turns.
I tell you, the 21 of Jason DeVries is not going to have any good years left after this run. He is running the tires slack off that machine.
Well, right now, after knowing Jason's mindset, his race pace, this is probably exactly what we'd see him do in any scenario. I mean, especially with him catching the car the way he did, most guys would have got it in there, locked the brakes up, and we all know Jason is the type of racer who will, if you're struggling with something, he won't just tell you how to do it. He'll make you get in a practice session and get out on track and show you how to correct what you're doing wrong and make you a better race car driver for it. And that's one of the things that makes him top of the class here with Diehard, along with several of the other fast drivers here. But Jason seems to step out there as one that's willing to go more than just the extra mile to help you if you're struggling, whether it's road or oval or even dirt. I know he saved you a lot of times, Cody.
Oh yeah, he's helped me out a bunch. Right now I'm looking at the 2 underneath the 7 of Paul Williams back further in the pack. It looks like he's going to try to grab
the 25.
Yeah. It's good to see Douglas Hess having a good run. Ah, that's Rusty.
You see a little bit of a bobble there out of 22, and Rusty's still there on the inside in that Mobile 1 tracker paint scheme as he's still trying to battle to the inside of the 7 of Paul Williams. Not quite able to get it going there on the bottom groove. Paul's able to maintain it on the top side as Rusty's going back off.
See Rusty have a lot of wheel spin coming off there, Art. He did a good job pedaling that car and getting some traction as he was headed to the wall.
So we do a quick check-in up here at front. Not much has changed. A 3/10 second gap separating first and second place here, as we are now 103 laps complete here out of the scheduled 200. I think the thing to note is that, look back here, the gap back from first to third is right now at 4 seconds.
That's what I was just about to say, Art. They have first and second is gap placed by 4 seconds, and they are marching away from it.
So right now we're looking at the 4 of Caleb Thompson, now over to the 11 of Jeremy Evans. As this is still hovering right around the latter half of the top 10. Right now, Jeremy being scored in the 7th position, as behind him the 97 of Ryan Nolan. Despite all the damage on that 97 Ford Fusion, that is for position there. That is for 7th spot. We see the 66 of Andrew Hill there behind. There was contact about 10 or 15 laps ago between the 97 and the 66. Both cars able to save it, but you can see, judging by the nose and the rear end of that 97, that it's definitely seen some better days. There's probably going to be some sheet metal for sale on eBay after the race is over.
And the 97 Ryan Nolan, he was our pole sitter, so this goes to show pole sitters are not safe either with that beat-up machine.
Right now, I think it's just falling down into the amount of rubber that's on the track. As we see the 11 get a piece of the wall there, so the 97 is easily going to be able to get around him that time, as well as the 66 too, as the 11 is still going to stay high.
Those were some quick hands by the 97 to get around the 11.
That could have been a whole lot worse, as now we move over here. We see that the 97 has worked his way up. The 7 of Paul Williams right now being scored in 12th position. Just in front of him, the 22 of Joshua Stewart and the 20 of Adam Nowinski. That'll be 11th and 10th spot. Behind Paul, we have the 25 of Rusty Farrell and the 4 of Hope Thompson. As we see, the focus has shifted up now to the 20 of Brian Den. As we see the 11 once again getting out of shape there off of the corner. He's used the entire backstretch on the inside to get that car back under control. Brian right now being scored in 6th spot, as we see the 21 of Jason DeVries as he gets a little bit high there in the corner. It's not going to affect the run as he's still trying to set sail and get up to the back bumper. The 76 of Josh Jones for 4th spot here. See a little bit of wall scrape there out of the 76, but nothing major, as once again, I think what we're seeing now at Jason is he's shifted his racing line now. He's not running all the way down on the bottom. He's running about middle groove up. And I think he's noticed something with the tires there, and he might be maybe in conservation mode. These guys might want to come down one last time for tires, and that's best case scenario if we stay green flag. That's not going to count if we do get another caution here, which will level the playing field for just about everyone, and then that'll really set this one in up for March. So we're going to go ahead and throw up a quick race summary here. Right now we have 143 laps completed out of 200. We've had 3 lead changes, 5 cautions for 27 laps, and our race leader is the 99 of Eric Mick. You see a battle heating up here between the 22 of Joshua Stewart and the 28 of Adam Nowinski. That is for 10th spot. Right now, Joshua is on the inside. He's got the preferred line going through the corner here. Can he make it stick against the 28 of Adam? As we see drive off, he should be clear going into the corner here. Adam will back off a little bit and let the 22 around, so that'll move Adam back to 11th and the 22 up to 10th. As we continue to keep going back to the most exciting, it's drawing us always back here to the 21, the 20, the 97, and the 66. That's Jason DeVries, Brian Den, Ryan Nolan, and Andrew Hill. As you see right now, the 97 of Ryan Nolan trying to put the screws to the back bumper of the 20 of Brian Den. The 66 of Andrew Hill now looking to the inside of the 97. He's going to move him all the way up to the wall there going into off the exit of the corner. The 97 is going to push upwards. It's going to give the advantage to the 66. That will move the 97 back to 8th position.
All right, and you got to think back. I think the 97 and the 66 already had one little incident together, and I believe this may be not retaliation, but racing you how you race me.
Nope, that's exactly what I was going to allude to. A lot of these guys have been around each other for a long time, and we do have a fairly decent group of new guys here that have shown, especially the 99, that they've got the speed, they've got the talent, the 97 being one of them. But it doesn't matter how disciplined you are, how good of a racer you are, how much riding it is. There's always something about short track racing that brings out the inner, you just want to bring out the drum horn and tempers. It doesn't matter how calm and cool, collected of a person you are, you tend to get angry at short tracks when you start losing positions or you start getting knocked around.
All right, something to mention here is Robert Barris in the second place and Eric Mink in first place in the 99 machine. They're about to catch Gallagher and a lot of lap traffic here, or at least three or four cars probably in the next couple of laps. I believe then will be the time for Robert to make that pass if he so chooses to. He has backed off of him a little bit. He was about 2/10 off of him. He got back as far as 6, and now he's over around that half a second mark.
And that could be a couple of things. It could just be that Roberts used his tires up trying to get up there, or he's conserving them a little bit and giving the 99 a little bit of false security and letting him run his tires a little bit harder. As we see the gap back from first to third now being over 6.5 seconds. As we see the 99 getting ready to put the 96 of Josh Gallagher down a lap. Right now he is being scored 8 laps down. This will be his 9th lap that he will be going down. He is the one that throughputed it earlier, and like I said, it's very rare occurrence to see a driver that'll throughput early in a race and actually reconnect and continue to race it out. So hats off to the 96 team for coming back and sticking it out here. As we are now under 50 laps to go, it'll be 43 on the line. We look once again at the most exciting. It not playing favorites, but it's staying on the most interesting battle here between the 21 of Jason DeVries, the 20 of Ryan Dead, the 66 of Andrew Hill, and now we can see the 97 of Ryan Nolan is kind of backsliding a little bit there. He's not really gaining the ground that he was before. I think he might have overdriven that 97. As you see the 20 there get a little piece of the wall there coming off the corner.
Now, Art, if this does stay green flag, do not know that we would see green flag stops. They do have enough fuel to make it. They're only right now about a second, just under a half off their qualifying times. So I don't foresee them taking. I don't think you cannot make up the time that you would lose on pit road here.
Fuel-wise, they definitely do have enough, but tires here are going to reign key over fuel, and I honestly think that if you see somebody who's really fast and really consistent, if you see them duck down pit road, as we've seen a lot of times, if one fast guy does something, usually it triggers a mass chain of events of everybody coming down. With this being a short track, yes, you're going to lose a lot more track position versus, say, a plate track or one of the cookie cutter mile and a halves, or when we go to like Michigan or Auto Club being a 2-mile track. I don't know if these guys are really going to hang on with 39 laps to go here, and tires definitely being the key. How far they're willing to push an ill-handling car, as we're starting to see more and more sparks flying off that outside wall. As we see a little bit of contact there between the 20 and the 66, that's going to open the door for the 97 of Ryan Nolan, but he's not going to be able to make anything happen there as he got log jammed on the back stretch, or the front stretch there.
Ryan Nolan's going to try to make it work on the outside now around Brian Den.
If you can't do it on the inside, you might as well try the outside.
That is a power move if I've ever seen one, getting around someone on the outside here at Martinsville. That is tough to do.
Now Seth just brought up an interesting point too. If on the last pit stop, if they left fuel out to tighten up the cars, they might be short on fuel to go these last 36 laps here. So there's a lot of variables that we don't know because we're not driving the cars. But the one thing that we do know is the racing is starting to heat up, as well as I think the tires are definitely heated up well past that.
Yeah, that is something to think about. Is some folks did leave fuel out to tighten the car up, and I may have whispered into one of the driver's ears just to kind of get an update of how much fuel they have, and they said they have plenty. And it's one of the drivers that he always leaves fuel out. Now some of these other guys, like Jason and Robert, they play that fuel mileage game a lot, and I don't know what they're running, but it'd be interesting to see.
Right now we're seeing the battle going on here for 5th spot. The 66 of Andrew Hill's trying to challenge the 21 of Jason DeVries. Straightaway speed, he does not have it there, but everything that he's lacking on the straights, he is more than making up in the corners, but he gets a big slide there off of turn 2, so that's going to kill the momentum momentarily. Let's see if he can cool those tires down and give it another run here. We do see a little bit of nose damage to that 66 Chevy SS. Now, just because, I want to go ahead and check in with the 76 car of Josh Jones, with that being the series sponsor car. Let's see how he's doing. Right now we see he is trying to get up to the back bumper there, the 16 machine of Elliott Butler. That will be for 3rd position. Right and now we see.
He also is running about 1/10 to 2/10 faster than the leader, is something else to note.
So definitely a lot of different end strategies being played here as we see him get up really loose there off of turn 4. That's going to cost him some time, and we see that next car in frame behind him being the 21 of Jason DeVries. So if Josh makes that mistake a few more times, that might open the door here for the 21 and possibly even the 66 to get by. Because right now he's definitely going to have to take a couple laps to let those Goodyear Eagles cool down before he can try and start reeling the 16 back in again.
All right, I'm looking back up front with Eric Mick and Robert Barris. Robert has stuck his nose high and he stuck it low. It looks like he may be looking for a way around this leader. He has caught him, and he's going to have to navigate a little bit more lap traffic as they're coming up on the 6. As 75 has got his nose under the leader, he's going to back out and let Eric Mick back down in, but he could have stuck it on up in there, and it would have been good if he kept coming, but Robert played it safe there.
I think I hit the nail on the head. Robert was probably in conservation mode, and now with 28 to go, he's got a little bit more rubber on those tires that he can play around with and be a little bit more aggressive. As we're going to see, I think maybe we were going to see the 6 Rodney Kramer as a pick maybe by the 75, but that's not going to happen because Rodney's going to go high as it goes through the corners here. Now the next car that they're going to come up here to lap, maybe Robert can try and set something up. That'll be the 25 of Rusty Farrell. But what he's going to have to do is try and get to the inside of the 99 and force him to get stuck behind the 25 in order for that one to play out right. As we see right now, they're still chasing down the 25 here. Looks like Robert's backed off just a little bit, but you see the leader get up to the back of the 25 here. I think we're going to see Robert try and put the pressure back under again. So 24 laps to go at the line here. We've been green for a good long while. Hopefully these guys can continue this up and we will finish under a green flag here at Martinsville. It's always, that would be an impressive piece of driving to see here. As we're going to look back here once again, the 6th position, the 66 of Andrew Hill, he's gathered the car back up and he's going to try and take another stab at taking P5 away from the 21 of Jason DeVries.
As we see the 20 of the 22 of Joshua Stewart, he's peeking underneath the 20 of Brian Den. 22, they're getting a little loose.
we continue to watch here as the 66 is trying to mount the effort against the 21. So you see the 66, looks like he's a little bit quicker there than the 21 in the corners, but straightaway speed, not quite there. So we see the 76 of Josh Jones has made it around the 96 of Josh Gallagher. It seems like every time we come to a different track as the season goes on, we gain another Josh. We're up to, so you see there, some contact there between the 66 and the 21. 66 kind of letting the 21 know, hey, I'm here and I want by. As we are under 20 laps to go here, it is still a close battle for the race lead, but right now the race we're seeing is for 5th spot, and right there potentially could have been something. Oh, as we see the 66 loop almost, he's able to save it. That's going to open the door for the 97 as the 66 still loose. That's going to cost him 6th position as they'll drop him back to 7. And now he's going to come under fire by the 20 of Ryan Denton and the 22 of Joshua Stewart. As we know, the way these tires are going here, that he's got to let those tires cool down. Oh, and we see, I believe that was the 4 Caleb Thompson. Looks like he's going to smack the inside wall there coming off the turn.
Meanwhile, back up front, Robert actually caused some bad light traffic there and has lost a little time to Eric Mick.
And that was indeed the 4 Caleb Thompson. He got a little loose off of turn 4 and made heavy contact with the inside wall. Right now he's being scored in 16th position, 2 laps down. In front of him, the 56 of Christian DeVore, not on track but position-wise, being scored in 15th. Also 14th, the 6 of Rodney Kramer, 2 laps down. Right now, if the caution were to come out, the 25 of Rusty Farrell would be the lucky dog. Folks, we apologize for the little bit of stuttering that's going on with the stream right now. Technology has not been our friend over the weekend, and despite switching over to a much higher bandwidth, we're still kind of getting a little bit of intermittent latency issues there, so we're doing our best to try and keep that at bay here as these guys are going to be coming up to 10 laps to go here as they stay green flag, and hopefully it'll stay with us so you guys can catch the amazing finish here. We see the next car that's going to be going a lap down. That's going to be the 28 of Adam Nowinski. As right now, we've got a 4/10-second gap back between the 99 and the 75, and then a 7-second gap to the 3rd place car, the 16 of Elliott Butler. As we see the 99 and the 75 make it by the 28 there, that will put Adam down first car now. So Adam, if the caution comes out, if he does not get passed by the 25 of Rusty Farrell, the 28 of Adam Nowinski will be the lucky dog. But if luck and technology stays on our side, we will stay green flag, and you guys will get to see this happen without the stuttering and buffering.
And this has been a strong performance art by the 99 and 75 machines in both races. Right now they're flip-flopped. The earlier race, Robert won with Eric Mick following him, and right now it's in reverse. They've both put on very strong performances tonight, no matter where they come out. But we know that Robert wants to sweep this thing.
So right now I'm looking back at the 21 of Jason DeVries in 5th. He is still now under fire by the 97 of Ryan Nolan. As the 66 has still not been able to quite get up there and challenge, but we see the 97 within about a half a car length of the 21. He's trying everything that he can do to try and get around this 21, as we are now going to be coming to 4 laps to go.
As Robert's actually taking a peek to the outside there of Eric Mick. Is he going to try a pass on the outside?
Well, Robert's got 3 laps to go at the line to figure out how to get around this 99 and make the sweep for the weekend. If not, look for the 99 of Eric Mick to make it back-to-back wins. But now a mile and a half is all that we have left to do here at Martinsville. So 3 more laps, 2.5 now as they make it down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Does the 75 of Robert Barris have anything for the 99 of Eric Mick? We've seen him come on as a new driver this season with Diehard, and he has put on one heck of a performance week after week. We've seen him with killer fast run speed at some of the bigger tracks. Last week we saw him with a dominating performance, and this week, once again, if he can hold them off as they take the white flag here, all he's got to do is hold off Robert for a half a mile here. 2 more turns, and we will see our first repeat winner of the season here.
Robert had a little spin, and some of those tires coming off there. I don't think he's going to have it. He is not going to have it.
He's not going to do it, as the 99 of Eric Mick is going to be our race winner. The 75 of Robert Barris is going to bring it home second. The 16 of Elliott Butler is going to be our 3rd place finisher. So that's going to set up our top 3 interviews. And then, as always, once we get done with those, we will go through tonight's results, and then, as always, our little post-race to give you guys the last little bit of word before we sign off for the night. So we're going to let these guys get moved into the interview room, and we'll get the interviews underway.
That was a great race they put on today, Art. You know, we only had, I think, maybe 5, 6 cautions. Here at Martinsville, that is incredible. I think Seth was hoping for 10 or less as the league owner, and I think we met those expectations, and they put on a great race all race long. The 99 and 75, of course, dominating this weekend, with Eric Mick getting the win here today, and Robert getting the win earlier in the race. It was a great race for the JMR Outdoor Martinsville race today.
Well, you definitely said it there. As we see the 16th place car on track right now, we're going to go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher, the 16 of Elliott Butler. Nope. All right, Eric, you brought it home 3rd tonight here at, arguably, Elliott, sorry, one of the hardest tracks here on the NASCAR circuit to drive. Tell me, how important were the tires here?
Yeah, they got pretty loose after a long run, and it was pretty much just managing the right rear, I think. If you could do that, you were pretty quick. I do want to apologize while you got me on here that Todd got into him a little bit early in the race, and I didn't want to hurt his day like that.
Well, we did see a lot of what I love seeing, and with being a former real-life short-track racer, if you're not rubbing it, it's not racing, and sometimes, even if best intentions, you try to get off the person that you make contact with, sometimes it's you just can't you can't dictate what's going to happen, and sometimes they end up going around, and it's just lucky that Todd's a great guy. He takes everything in stride, and unfortunately, in real life, I've dealt with a lot of scenarios with this where we've had knockdown, drag-out fights in the pits after races, all because of an accident, and before you have the chance to apologize for something, you've got somebody coming at your throat. But 200 laps around a very, very tire aggressive track with the asphalt to concrete transitions. We saw a lot of speed out of the 16 car. Did you guys have anything special under the hood, or was it all behind the wheel?
Running the same car everybody else is. Was really good on the short run, and I thought I had something for the 99 and the 75 if I could get that. But on the long run, they were definitely class of the field, and nice win to Eric there.
Oh, once again, we want to congratulate you on third place. Is there anybody out there that you'd like to thank?
Yeah, everybody out here watching, you guys for putting on the broadcast, American Hero Home for sponsoring the series, and the Sudafed I took before I did this race because I didn't know if I was going to make it 200 laps because I'm pretty sick today, but made it through.
No, I feel you there on that one. With the allergies in the south here, you pretty much live on Sudafed. But once again, congratulations on the third place. Enjoy the off week, and we will see you in 2 weeks when we go and return at Texas Motor Speedway.
Appreciate it. Can't wait.
That was our third place finisher, the 16 of Elliott Butler. Now we're going to bring in our second place finisher, the 75 of Robert Barris. All right, Robert, you brought her home second. We were all watching to see if you can make a move there on the 99, but looks like there on the last lap you had a little bit of wheel spin coming off the corner, and you weren't able to do it, but nonetheless, you brought her home second tonight. How bad were the tires?
The last 50 laps or so, they were pretty bad. It would spin the back tires at the start-finish line with pretty much no problem at all. You do it at will. So yeah, congrats to Eric. He had track position through the middle of the race where we had the cautions and just kind of the way the pit strategy worked out, and I think that was really the big difference. I was beating him and probably everybody on braking a lot. It was noticeable, but I just couldn't quite get enough of a run on exit to be close enough to enter the next turn to take advantage of it. I tried. I had, I don't know what, 100 laps or so to figure out a way, and I came close a couple times, but just not quite enough.
Well, we all know Martinsville is probably one of the harder tracks to drive, with it having the asphalt to concrete transition and the fact that there is no banking. And we saw time and time again tonight that there were several drivers that made contact with another, but they were able to back off and allow the driver that was knocked loose to straighten the car out. But we saw a few other times that wasn't necessarily the case, and we saw all those cautions early on. But in true Diehard fashion, we managed to finish it off with a long green flag run. And honestly, I think if we had maybe another 20 or so laps, it might have been a little bit a different story. We might have been interviewing you in victory lane over the 99, but we know ever since we've seen the 99 come on that he has some amazing short run, and especially it seems like last week and now this week here, he's had some really, really good long run speed as well.
Yeah, he's definitely impressed this season, coming in not only in the Cup Series but our Xfinity and truck races. He had a pretty good showing on our truck race that we ran before this. Yeah, just it kind of stinks. It's good to be happy to get out here with a second place, because it's the last few times here have been a struggle, just getting caught up in stuff and really not being able to compete and finish. On the other hand, I know the advantage that I had under braking, which I usually do on these flat tracks, and just not being able to figure out a way around and to get that track position. I think I'd have pulled away if I could have, but that's why we got to run the laps. In terms of the field, yeah, the start of the race was really good. I was really happy and impressed with everybody, and we had a couple of hiccups there in the middle, but everybody kind of settled down and we were able to finish it out with a really nice, I think it was like a 95 lap green flag run to wrap it up. So that was awesome.
And well, once again, you maximize almost, well, by maximizing would be winning, but still a great points night with a second place finish tonight. Is there anybody out there that you'd like to thank?
So I think American Hero Hunt for coming on board and paying, helping pay the bills. It takes kind of run all this. Everybody at the Diehard Racing League, the admins, and the guys up in the broadcast booth bringing this out to everybody, and all the drivers who just showed up and really did put on a pretty good race. I think they definitely commends to them.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the second. Enjoy your off week, and we will see you in 2 weeks at Texas Motor Speedway.
Sure thing.
All right, that was our second place finisher, the 75 Robert Barris. Now we're going to bring in the race winner and back-to-back winner, the 99 of Eric Mick. All right, Eric, you managed to do it. Oops. There we go. Eric, you managed to do it. That's 2 in a row for you. It's got to feel great.
Yeah, that was huge. This is my first win at Martinsville in the Cup Series, maybe altogether. Not one of my best tracks, but the car felt pretty good. I think it was just a matter of track position between me and Robert, though, considering from his move, we weren't going to move each other out of the way. We raced like that in the Truck Series earlier tonight, too, and I wasn't going to move him. He proved he wasn't going to move me for it, and we were going to be clean and respectful about it, so that's always fun.
Now, I asked the other two guys the same question. I'm going to ask you as well. How bad were the tires there on that last run? I know you guys did 95 laps plus green flag.
They've been worse, but they were not fun. Atlanta, I would still say, has been the worst as far as tire wear goes on you. But making those tight corners with this heavy steering, these heavy cars, it really puts a burn in your bicep, especially when you get those long green flag runs. But I got to say, that was the best Martinsville race I've been a part of, ever. And if you look at all the green flag running we had, so that was really cool that we were able to do that tonight with that, with I think 20 plus guys or something.
It definitely was one heck of a show as we were watching from the booth there. We did get off to a little bit of a rocky start with a couple people just a little bit impatient and a few cars going around. We had to early on cautions, but in true diehard form, we were able to luckily run it out with a long green flag run through the end. And we were talking with Robert, and he wished that there was probably about another 20, 25 laps, and he thought that maybe he would have had something that he could have thrown at you. But we've seen that you had incredible short-run speed at the big tracks. Last week, you pulled off a dominating performance, and once again tonight, you squeaked it in here. And for this season, you are our first repeat winner, so that's definitely got to be another good feeling.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize that. But, yeah, got to thank Robert Racing McLean all night tonight in that race and in the Truck Series. He definitely would have got me eventually. It was just a matter of time. Track position played a lot into how that race played out between me and him, but it was definitely he was definitely better than me tonight at Martinsville here.
All right, with a maximum points night here, that's got to be another great feeling as we move into the off week. Is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Got to thank American Hero Hunt for sponsoring the series, Robert and Seth, the admins, for putting everything on here in Diehard Racing League, and you guys for coming out broadcasting every week. It's been fun 6 weeks, I think, so looking forward to an off week and then getting back at it.
Well, once again, congratulations on the win tonight, and also the back-to-back wins. We hope you enjoy the off week, and we will probably see you once again in either Victory Lane or on the podium in 2 weeks when we go to Texas Motor Speedway.
I hope so, because I'm not looking forward to Bristol after that, so.
All right, that was our top three right there. Cody, any final words before we bring up the results here and get this one in the books?
Art, that was a great race. We had 95 green flag laps there at the end. Yeah, we had a couple hiccups, but it's Martinsville. I'm sure there's really, I don't think there really is any tempers flared out there tonight. There's a couple incidents, but everybody, there's nothing intentional, and just all around a great race. I'm actually looking forward to this week off myself and enjoying some family time for Easter, as well as any viewers out there. We're hoping they have a happy Easter this week, and we look forward to being back here at Texas in, 2 weeks?
2 weeks we will return at Texas Motor Speedway after our Easter off week, but that right there is a prime example of why we love being up here in the booth covering these races. These guys, even after the rocky start, they can get their stuff together, and you heard through the interviews that they race each other with a level of respect, and that's something that's really, really hard to find, especially on a league that runs all the different configurations, not just super speedways. We run the 1.5 miles, the intermediate tracks, the short tracks, as we've got Bristol on the schedule, we've got Richmond, all the way up to Talladega. We started the season off at Daytona. We've got a road course in the season, so there's a huge amount of respect and a lot of trust and a lot of you just really have to be comfortable with the guys around you here, and I think that we've got the right group of guys here week in and week out. And now with the new guys that have come on board here, it's great to see that one of the newer drivers has locked in a back-to-back win here. As we're going to go into our off week, and I know I'm going to enjoy it because I get to spend time with the family for Easter as well. So I think with that being said, we can pull up tonight's race results here, and we'll give you guys the run-through of who finished where tonight. Obviously, with the win, the 99 of Eric Mick sealing back-to-backs. He's going to come home on the top spot. The 75 of Robert Barrett's going to bring home second. The 16 of Elliott Butler third. And we want to throw out here the 76 of Josh Jones. Normally, we don't see him really super aggressive at this track, but tonight he's going to bring home a top 5 here. So great to see that JMR Outdoors Chevy in the top 5. So that's a great thing, and we want to thank Justin and the guys from JMR Outdoors for coming on board as our series sponsor here. After getting the EOL penalty, the 21 of Jason DeVries is able to lock down a top 5 with the coming home in 5th. The 97 of Ryan Nolan, we saw in those closing laps there, he was not able to get around the 21. He's going to come home in 6th. The 66 of Andrew Hill is going to bring home 7th. The 22 of Joshua Stewart 8th. The 20 of Brian Den 9th, and the 11 of Jeremy Evans is going to round up the top 10. As we look a little further back in the field, 11th goes to the 7 of Paul Williams, the 28 of Adam Nowinski 12th, 25 of Rusty Farrell 13th, the 6 of Rodney Kramer 14th, the 56 of Christian DeBoer 15th, the 4 of Caleb Thompson 16th, Josue Tellis, who we saw could not catch a break tonight, he's going to finish it in 17th, the 96 of Josh Gallagher 18th, Todd Crane the 10, 19th, the 1 of Kevin Burris 20th, and I do believe that is going to round out the rest of the drivers that started. Actually, no, we did have 22 starts, so the 44 of Aaron Corey will be scored 21st, and Caleb Finn and the 95 will round out the end of the field here. So for everybody here at Diehard Racing, Diehard Live TV, JMR Outdoors, we want to wish you guys, everybody, a happy Easter, as we will be off next week. We will return in 2 weeks at Texas Motor Speedway live on the iRacing portal. And as always, you can catch us Saturday nights. We are live with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now Not Later Super Speedway Series League, where we will be going to Daytona with the open truck. So make sure you guys tune in Saturday night for that. But for everybody here, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. That's how it always fucking